Have you ever been in a room full of people, but still felt completely alone? Have you ever smiled outside, while your heart stayed silent inside? Many people think loneliness means having no friends, but that is not always true. Sometimes, the loneliest person is the one who smiles the most. Today, I will tell you a simple but powerful story. It is the story of a man who believed he was completely alone. But one small moment changed the way he looked at life forever. Stay with me until the end, because this story may change the way you see your own life. Welcome to History English, where you learn easy English through beautiful stories. If you enjoy simple English and meaningful stories, please subscribe to our channel and join our learning journey. Now, let's begin.
My name is Daniel. I am 42 years old. I live in a small apartment in a quiet city. Every morning, I wake up at 6 o'clock. I make a cup of coffee. I open my window. I look outside. People walk to work. Children laugh on their way to school. Cars move quickly. The city is full of life, but my apartment is always quiet, very quiet. Sometimes I do not hear a single voice for many hours. Many years ago, my life was different. I had many friends. I had a good job. I visited my parents every weekend. Life was busy. Life was warm. But time changes everything. My parents passed away. My friends became busy with their own families. Some moved to other cities. Some moved to other countries. Slowly, my phone stopped ringing. The messages became fewer. Then they stopped. One evening, I looked at my phone. No calls, no messages, nothing. I smiled a little, but inside, I felt empty. People often think being alone is peaceful. Sometimes it is, but sometimes silence becomes very heavy. One Sunday morning, I went to a nearby park. Many families were there. Children played football. Old couples walked slowly. Young people laughed together. I sat alone on a wooden bench. I watched everyone. I asked myself a simple question. Why does everyone have someone? Except me. A cold wind touched my face. For a moment, I wanted to go home. Then something unexpected happened. A little girl walked toward me. She could not be more than 7 years old. She smiled. She looked at me and asked, "Excuse me, sir. May I sit here?" I smiled. Of course. She sat beside me. For a few minutes, we said nothing. Then she looked at the birds flying above us. "They are beautiful," she said. "Yes," I answered. "They always fly together." She became quiet. Then she asked, "Are you waiting for someone?" I looked down. I thought for a few seconds. Finally, I answered, "No, I think I am only waiting for a better day." She smiled again. My grandmother says every bad day ends. A better day always comes. Such simple words, but they touched my heart. A woman called her name. She stood up. Before she left, she looked back and said, "I hope your better day comes soon." Then she ran away. I never saw her again, but I never forgot her words. That night I thought about my life. Maybe I was waiting for people to come to me, but I never walked towards them. The next morning, I made a small decision. I smiled at my neighbour. He smiled back. The following day, I visited a small library. I talked to the librarian. A few days later, I joined a local reading club. At first, I was nervous. I spoke very little, but people were kind. They welcomed me. Week after week, I made new friends. Not many, just a few. But real friends are enough. One evening, an old man sat beside me after the meeting. He said, "I used to think I was the loneliest man in this city." I smiled. So did I. We laughed together. That laugh was small, but it felt warm. Months passed. Life was still simple. I still lived in the same apartment. I still drank coffee every morning. But something had changed. The silence no longer felt so heavy. Now, I had people to call. I had friends to meet. I had stories to share. One day, I walked through the same park again. I looked at the same bench. I remembered the little girl. She probably never knew how much she helped me. Sometimes a few kind words can save a tired heart. You do not need to be rich. You do not need to be famous. You only need to be kind. Today, I still enjoy quiet mornings. I still like peaceful places. But I no longer call myself a lonely person. Because I learned something important. Being alone is not the same as being lonely. Loneliness begins inside the heart. Hope also begins inside the heart. And one small act of kindness can change everything. Maybe today, someone near you feels lonely. Maybe they only need one smile, one hello, one short conversation. Never forget this. Kindness costs nothing, but it can become the greatest gift in someone's life. Thank you for listening to this story. I hope you learnt some easy English and found a little hope in these words. Remember these 3 simple sentences. Never lose hope, even on your quietest day. One kind word can change someone's life. Every new day is another chance to begin again. See you in the next story on History English.